What do you think about this? This? And this? Or maybe this? There are incredible design boxes in architecture which come from different architects or designers and different contexts. The problem is sometimes we want to design the box too, but do not copy the design of others. In addition, as a beginner, we definitely need references and ideas on how to explore the design. For me, to maintain the originality, although not 100%, while we design, we must stop looking at other images and use our library to explore anything. Think about the proportion, balance, harmonize, and other design principles. To make it easier, I think added a kind of classification of box language which I will explain in the next second. First is detached. Detached refers to when boxes appear to be separated from a plane or any surface. This is usually characterized by short distance, suggesting the potential for reattachment. However, if the distance is too far, it creates a sense of disconnection, and the box can no longer be considered detached in this context. Additionally, the proportion of the box, whether small or large, also plays a role. Second, in between. The concept of in between refers to a special relationship where a central element, the box, is framed or enclosed by two identical objects. This arrangement creates a sense of balance, symmetry, and intentionality within the design. The identical object could be architectural components such as wall, column, or structural elements. Next is overlapping. Overlapping refers to a special arrangement where multiple forms, often blocks or rectilinear volumes, partially interact or cover one another. This concept introduces visual depth, dynamic layering, and complexity to design. Overlapping can be intentional, either orderly or random, and is often used to create interest, define space, or optimize functionality. Number 4 is floating. Floating describes the visual or physical effects of a structure or volume appearing to be suspended above the surface, creating a sense of weightlessness or separation from the ground. This effect is achieved through material choice, structural techniques, or optical illusions. The floating box often evokes modernity, minimalism, and elegance. And the next one is in blanket. Blanket conveys the idea of a volume or box being partially covered or enclosed by another material, structure, or layer, creating a sense of protection, enclosure, or wrapping. This design strategy often emphasizes contrast between the blanket element and the box, adding depth and texture to the composition. Rotate. Rotate highlights the concept of turning volume or parts of it to present a different angle or orientation. These design techniques introduce dynamism, break symmetry, and emphasize contrast between elements. Rotation can involve the entire box or be applied selectively to specific surface, such as at the top, bottom, or sides, resulting in unique spatial arrangement and aesthetic outcome. The next one is slicing. Slicing involves dividing a volume or box into distinct segments while maintaining its overall coherence. The slight gaps between the parts create visual separation, adding rhythm and dynamism to the design. This approach allows for creative expression, functionality, and interaction with light, air, and surrounding spaces. Slicing emphasizes the interplay between unity and fragmentation in architectural forms. Next is offset. Offset describes the deliberate shifting or displacement of a box surface or volume, where parts of the structure are pushed inward or outward. This technique creates angular or state forms that break the monotony of flat lines, introduce depth, and add visual complexity to the design. Offset designs are widely used to emphasize hierarchy, functionality, and aesthetic appeal while engaging with light, shadow, and spatial dynamics. Subtract. Subtract involves the intentional removal or erosion of a portion of box volume or structure, altering its original form. This design approach introduces negative space, which can enhance the interplay between solid and void, creating functional areas, dynamic aesthetic, or a unique spatial experience. The subtraction process often emphasizes contrast, highlights structural innovation. Last one is hole. Hole refers to the process of hollowing out a box, leaving its surface intact while creating an intentional void. These design techniques transform a solid form into a structure with openings, allowing light, air, or specific elements such as trees or circulation pathways to pass through. Of course, some designs do not always stand alone or rely on just one of the methods mentioned above. It depends on our preference and the context of the design being created. In many cases, designers choose to combine 2 or 3 methods to achieve the desired result. Let's look at this example. At first glance, it appears to be floating because the bottom material is glass, while the top is solid concrete. However, as we can see, there's a significant subtraction here and slicing in some parts. It also appears offset, but I don't think so. It's likely due to the perspective. I apologize for not attaching the architect's name or the name of the building for some image, as I couldn't find the source. Additionally, these 10 box ideas are not absolute. You may also discover other interpretations of the box concept. And don't forget to leave your comments below. I hope this inspires you.